Welcome, artists, coming to you from the studio, and today I'm working on a painting of Vilnius, Lithuania. And this was a painting I started in my advanced watercolor or watercolor again class, and really just using a couple of colors. So I did like a very basic drawing, and then I came into the painting with a ton of water, and I was using yellow ochre, cerulean blue, and ultramarine blue. And I started with the sky first. I did a smooth transition from the yellow ochre to cerulean blue to ultramarine blue. Let those colors kiss and touch on the paper, and you don't get a mixture of the colors too much, so it doesn't make a green. Then I worked my way around into the buildings using a lot of dry brush techniques. Now, when you're working dry brush, the idea is you get a bunch of color and water on the brush, and you drag it across the top of the surface of the paper. This works best with like rough paper or cold press paper if you've got that, but not hot press paper, which is completely smooth. So I drag it across the top of the surface, and half the details of my paintings are dry brush. And then I worked my way around to the buildings, and then I went down to the road, made things a little bit warmer and cooler, and then I made my way onto the side of the painting. So I've got 2 or 3 sections of pure white left. What I'm doing now in the studio is I'm coming back into this, and I'm coming in here with some of the details. So as you can see on the left-hand side, I've got my palette mixed up and using a lot more paint, less water. I'm getting things darker. So I'm starting on the left-hand side first, just going in here and working with some of the buildings. And I'm just trying to keep things geometric. If it's not a geometric shape, it renders as more nature, bushes, trees, for example. So if you want to look like buildings, keep things geometric. So, and the idea is there's just the indication of people walking down the street here. I don't want a lot of detail. I just want shapes. And the idea for heads, bodies, and legs, there's this people. It's this European capital. This is Vilnius, Lithuania, which is actually probably the prettiest, I think, of the 3 like old towns and like the capitals of the Baltic nations. I loved Vilnius. I'd love to go back here in a second. It's a really big old town. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to do there. And I didn't even check any of the museums. There's even more things to do. It was a really nice place. And of course, you know, the Baltic nations are pretty cheap too. So, you know, your dollar does go a long way there. Tons and tons of great pictures in that city also. So I'm sitting in here and I'm just turning the painting around and around to keep my hand out of wet paint. I hate to use the hairdryer when I paint. It just bothers me. So I'd rather just turn things around and around and not stick my hand into wet paint. And then I'd have to sit there with the hairdryer for 20 minutes looking at Facebook or Instagram and getting myself down on life. I'm just coming into here and just turning things upside down, you know, starting in the back area. A lot of the details are suggested with the dry brush technique, which I mentioned earlier. And then I'm also dropping in some water and color, letting it sit for a few seconds. And then what I'm doing sometimes is I'm scratching back into the paper. And what that does is that gets you back to the lighter area underneath it. When I say scratch, what you're literally just doing is you're just pushing the pigment aside. You're parting the red seas. You're not trying to actually dent the paper or scratch into things. You're just pushing that pigment aside. And as long as it's not too wet, it's not going to fill itself back in again. And that's how I do literally 90% of my detail in paintings, is I'll wait until the water and the paper is the right wetness, scratch the details into it, or what I'll do if the paper is already 100 or 1,000% dry, is I'll spray a spray bottle, just put a little bit of water on top of the paper, let it sit for a few seconds, and then go in and scratch your details. You can use a credit card. You could use the ferrule of your brush. I've seen people do all of those, and that works really well for scratching. I don't like to use my fingernail because it makes a mess. I like palette knives for scratching. But credit cards will also work too. So you can see here I'm working in the background, kind of making my way to the foreground very slowly. Combination of just going back and forth, change that color temperature up a little bit. You know, if I'm gonna start working with, you know, the first layer of paint usually is the most colorful, and that's the foundation of my house, is what I call it. And if you have a solid foundation to your house usually isn't going to fall apart unless it's built by Fred Smith Homes. So I used to own one of their homes. Then everything will fall apart. I'll probably get sued for that joke, but you know, I think there's plenty of lawsuits against their building anyways. Oops, I got off on a tangent. All right, so now I'm coming into here now, and I'm starting to work on the shadows in the foreground. And I'm coming into here with just blues because I've got lots of color down here already. I'm going to put that on top of the existing colors. Don't go back and forth and rub it too much because you're going to start to pull off that first layer of color. You put the color down, you let it just sit there. You can scratch into it if you want to while it's still wet, but just let it sit there. So we're coming into here with the blues. This is going to make our foreground really start to pop a little bit more. And the closer you get towards the foreground, the darker I'm making it. More paint, less water. And working our way across. We're going to start working on the left-hand side here once I get this foreground in here. And it's just kind of the impression of details. You don't have to do a whole lot. Like, you know, again, as long as things are geometric looking, it's going to render as buildings, I hope. You know, when it comes to people, you just want to have some simple shapes. And, you know, with people, you got to keep it people shaped. So just a little head, U for the upside down U for the body, W for the legs. Hopefully it doesn't look like a horse. If it does look like a horse, I apologize to the person. Though some people do look like horses, I guess. That's terrible. I'm so sorry I said that. I would never tell them that, though. That's rude. Lithuanians don't look like horses. They're actually really good-looking people, I think. Weird language. I couldn't understand a thing. Like, I thought my German might help out a little bit. It did not. They all speak Russian over there. Enough people do speak English where I could survive. I didn't have to put the phone into Russian, because my Russian is pretty bad. And as you can see here now, I'm working my way over to the left-hand side. Scratching now. Cat scratch fever. Oh, I'm sorry, more Ted. I should do Ted. Good song though, catchy. But you can see this slowly gets built up. I'm just kind of working section by section, keeping my hand out of wet paint, dry brush techniques, and I'm not really doing that much detail. It's the impression detail, and that's what I love about painting like this. If I had to do photorealistic painting, I've done that before actually. It bores me to death because I step back after I'm done with it, and I say to myself, cool, that was really difficult. I could have just taken a photograph and nobody would know the difference. And so for me, that sort of artwork, I'm not saying that it's not good artwork. It's amazing how they do it. It does nothing for me emotionally. What I love is cityscapes where I look at something and I know, oh, that's a city in Europe. I want to go there. And that's what I hope when people look at my paintings, they get that sort of impression. They say to themselves, hey, look, I want to see what that scene is. It didn't look like this in real life, but as a painter, I can take an average photograph and I can make it even better. And that's what I like about being a professional painter as opposed to a professional photographer. Because back in the day, I was kind of just stuck with whatever was there. Now I can make it actually better. Starting to work on the left-hand side now. I'm going to start working on the flags a little bit. Now, I did not keep the Lithuanian flag the same color. I was sticking to the same color palette. I didn't want to start throwing reds into here all of a sudden. So I do apologize, but that is supposed to be the Lithuanian flag up there. Just some kind of details. And you can always go back in if you need to, get some softer edges and areas. Just spray a little bit of water, let it fall on top of the paper, let it sit for a couple seconds, and then go in and drop your color, and that's going to give you a soft edge. But if you go in first with the brush, and then go back in with water again, what you're going to do is you're going to lift off that first layer. Watercolor is very finicky, so don't do too much of that. And this demonstration is almost done because the camera crapped out on me. My apologies. I'll get it working next time. And if you like this content, smash subscribe. No, don't smash anything. It's computer equipment, people. It's easily breakable. Click subscribe. If I could speak English, that'd be nice. Click subscribe. I'll have more content upcoming soon. Thank you so much, and happy painting.